Hi, welcome to the presentation to give the basic understanding about the features and type of the technology. We are actually living in the technology era. Today, technology is there everywhere, whether it is in your day-to-day activities, whether it is in your official environment, government, everywhere technology is there. So, understanding the technology and also the various features of the technology and what type of technologies are all prevailing, that it becomes very important. So, this presentation is trying to address that particular one. Let us first start with the definition of technology. Technology is a practical application of scientific or engineering knowledge to conceive, develop a product or a process. According to Stephen Hawking, the famous scientist, technology is that human activity which transforms natural resources for a particular purpose. Hydroelectric power station, wind power are the typical technologies where the natural power is being harnessed for your mankind's requirement. Let us see some of the features of technology. First and foremost feature is the change agent. Technology basically bring a change among all stakeholders. The banking technologies that is going on for the last 20 to 30 years, I would say. In fact, it has brought a big change among all the stakeholders, starting from the customers, the bankers, the regulatory agencies, the telecom service providers, technology developers, hardware suppliers. Even the hackers also getting themselves adapted to the various technological changes. Technology also has got a feature of widespread effect. Technology reach far beyond the immediate point of technology impact. The recent corona problem as actually one of the very classical example is brought in. Online retailing, for example, it has now reached the tier 2 and tier 3 cities in India even before the offline retail is reached there. Because of the lockdown, many of these online retail platforms have reached the people in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and so these people are now familiar with all the national international brands, and also they're familiar with the online retailing. So now it is the right time for the offline retail people to follow. So to that extent, technology is moving quite fast. The third important feature of the technology is the self-reinforcing character. Technology feeds on itself. It acts as a multiplier to encourage faster development. Invention in one place leads to sequence of inventions in other places. One of the very important point I want to bring it here is the internet on mobile phone. Internet technology is an independent technology. Mobile phone is an independent technology. The day they're able to combine these two technologies, the whole lot of changes have started taking place in the entire world, starting from your mobile banking, mobile ticket booking of cinema, theater, train, bus, flight, etc., online marketing, metered taxi services like Ola, and food delivery and all that. Technology is quite complex. Technology is a complex set of knowledge, no doubt about all that. Some of this the complexity may be visible to the customer, some complexity may not be visible to the customer. It is likely to result in a variety of activities both inside as well as outside the organization. Let us take the case of an ERP implementation in an organization. So in an ERP implementation, again it is an end-to-end computerization. All the activities taking place in the organization are completely captured in the ERP system very systematically. So what are the various internal changes? The critical and objective performance assessment of employees are all done through the ERP system because the employees' various activities, what are the targets, what are the actual performance, everything is captured and it is able to give a beautiful assessment of what exactly the employees perform during a particular period. Same is the case with here, real-time profitability assessment for any raw material procurement. Suppose you are planning to procure a major raw material. So you would like to know what exactly the profitability. So you can immediately find out to up to what price you can purchase the raw material so that still you will be profitable in procuring the raw material. To that extent, it is able to give you a scenario. The business performance report and identification of pain points, another very valuable internal issue that can be come out of the ERP implementation. For example, depending upon the period, whatever the period, whether it can be a weekly or quarterly or monthly or half-yearly, whatever the period, you will be able to get an excellent performance report analyzed and also it gives the various pain points. For example, which particular department have not done, which particular products have not done well, which particular segment have not done well, which particular employees have not performed well. All the informations are provided. Also, the departments have really done well, who exceeded the targets, who exceeded their whatever the commitments they given. All such details are also captured in the ERP report. In terms of external, the suppliers have got better visibility about the organization. Particularly the suppliers were all, let us say, just-in-time suppliers. So for them, the availability of stock in the OEMs are very important. So this ERP system helps them to have better visibility about the organization's stock position. The bankers can track the operations very seamlessly. Whenever the bankers are trying to give some additional support to them, they want to track the performance of the operations and all that, it can be done effortlessly using the ERP system. It is actually a double-edged sword. All of us know very well technology is definitely a double-edged sword. If you take, for example, the mobile system, it has got many advantages. Like you can see the weather forecast, stock market operations. You can see any of the online purchases. You can do grocery or medicine, food delivery, whatever it is. Ola is available. Practo for doctor appointment. Big Basket for online grocery procurement. Like that, there are a lot of advantages are available with a typical mobile phone. At the same time, these young children, they can get access to anything if the mobile phone is available with them. So the elders have to have very close watch how exactly the children are using the mobile phone. And many of these people, not only the children, even the adults also likely to get addicted to games and movie watching using the mobile phone. So that is one of the important aspects to be noted down. And no physical activity with the mobile phones, for example. You can see the picture here. 4 children are sitting next to each other. Everyone is enjoying playing the video game. Even they don't even feel like playing among themselves, they don't even feel like talking to them and all that. So they are also glued to playing the video game. So to that extent, there is a reduced interpersonal communication, and also because the communication is coming down, there is a falling standards of written communication also. Today, if you see the social medium, people communicate through more of a emoji and other symbol communication. So in that case, slowly the written communications are likely to come down. And now we'll look into the various classifications of technology. I think by this time you would have got some good features about the technology till this presentation. So now we'll start looking into the classifications of technology. Let us first start with the new technology. What is new technology? Any newly introduced technology that has an explicit impact on the way a company does business, improve its productivity, and also create competitive advantage, such technologies can be called as a new technology. I have given 3 examples here. A motorcycle ambulance. In fact, today many large hospitals, they started deploying their motorcycle ambulance. Basically because most of these urban cities, the roads are all choked up and the patients are not able to be transported immediately to hospital when there is an emergency. But at the same time, the treatment should be given to the patients, particularly when they undergo, suppose, have a heart attack and all that. The golden hour is very important. So the motorcycle ambulance, they're really equipped with all the facilities. They're able to immediately check the patient's condition. Immediately they communicate with the main ambulance, who in fact they in turn in touch with the hospital. So the real treatment starts with the arrival of the mobile ambulance. Similarly, the motorcycle-based ATM. The Bandhan Bank, they are the pioneer in this technology. So because of this particular initiative, Bandhan Bank has done exceedingly well in West Bengal and the entire eastern part of India. And many of these bankers also trying to copy this particular initiative. Telemedicine is another very important area. Today, many large hospitals in the metros and big cities, they're tying with the smaller hospitals in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. They're trying to use this Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities hospitals as a primary health centers. So patients can go to those hospitals. Immediately they'll be hooked up to the specialist sitting in the main hospital, and after getting all the basic inputs, and the required medication will start there. Only when there is a surgical requirement or any critical requirement alone, these patients need to come to the bigger towns for the treatment. Otherwise, the treatment will be provided by sitting in the primary health care itself. So to that extent, telemedicine has become a very effective technology, and that provides a lot of competitive advantage to the larger hospitals in the big cities. Then what is emerging technology? Any technology that is not yet fully commercialized but will become so during the next 5 years, then such technologies you can call them as emerging technologies. Technologies like artificial intelligence technology, machine learning, drone technology, or robotics, robots used in restaurants and all that. So they all can be brought under the particular category. You can see the photograph here also. One robot is trying to serve the people, and today in many Indian cities, such robots staffed hotels have come. In Japan, one complete hotel is actually staffed by robots. Next category is called high technology. They are also referred to as advanced or sophisticated technologies. Two interesting examples I want to cite here. One is Hyperloop transport and another is a driverless car. You can see the Hyperloop transport model in the picture given in the bottom of the slide and the driverless car in the same slide top. So both these technologies are all really one of the very high technologies. They're going to disrupt the businesses wherever they're going to be present there. And such high technologies will be utilized by wide variety of industries. If you take drone technology, for example, like the mobile technology, drone technology is also likely to be a major business disruptor in the areas wherever they will be operated. Drones are planned to be used in product delivery, fertilizer application, pesticide application, inspection of remote installations of oil platforms in offshore fields, offshore wind farms. In all such locations, drones can be very effectively deployed. And in all such high technology areas, large number of specialists are deployed. For example, if you take Amazon Alexa, Amazon has deployed more than 1,000 specialists actually to develop Alexa. In spite of that, when one customer asked Amazon Alexa to play Subrabhadam, so this Alexa was blinking. So immediately, I think they taught Alexa how exactly to play the Subrabhadam. To that extent, it is able to address the queries of the various customers and make them finally happy. Technology is changing at a fast rate as compared to other industries in such technologies. The electronic storage device is a very classical case. So every day the technology is becoming more and more stronger and you're able to get larger storage spaces in a very compact devices. It also competes with the technology innovation. If you take the battery technology for the electric mobility, it actually one of the important developments taking place because people would like to have a very compact battery, lightweight battery. The battery can last longer for after every charge, whether it can go for 500 kilometers or 800 kilometers, whatever it is. It should minimum time we should be able to charge the battery. So these are all the requirements. So now the battery technologies is trying to embrace nanotechnology effectively to address to the various challenges and pain points. So now we'll go to the low technology. Technology that has attained maturity is called low technology. So it's not that in terms of technological capability it is low. Those mature technologies are all called low technology. For example, in the manufacture of steel and cement, such technologies are all called as low technologies. Because the technologies are all attained some maturity, the R&D expenditure is quite limited and they are largely automated because we understood the technology much better. So with the minimum people to supervisor, you can automate the technologies and run very successfully. The next, let us see what is a medium technology. The mature technologies that are amenable for improvement can be called as a medium technology. For example, if you take a petrol car, today the petrol cars are all getting upgraded into hybrid car. You can use both petrol as well as your electric mobility. Now from there they are all moving to electric car. That is 100% it will be based on electric power. So these electric cars are all being considered to be transformed into a driverless car. So to that extent the technologies are all maturing and moving from one platform to another platform, the way it is explained there. Another example I mentioned here is the water soluble fertilizer used for drip irrigation system. Today, many farmers have moved into drip irrigation system. One is to conserve the water. Second is manpower is not available to actually to handle the water, irrigating the water fields. So drip comes in very handy. The moment if you have to put on the motor and everything goes on very smoothly, even with the mobile phone, I will be able to put on the motor. But the issue is that I will apply my fertilizer and all that. So the fertilizer companies are now have to actually convert their fertilizer, which are normally not water soluble, have to make into water soluble fertilizer. So that the same drip irrigation system itself will be able to feed the fertilizer also. It will reach all the plants very successfully without any problem. The next is a very important reason, appropriate technology. Because this is among the various technological classifications, one of the most important one is a appropriate technology. Because it has to be very relevant and appropriate to the particular geographical territory you're operating. So the technology has to be appropriate to the society, The economic condition, the suitability to the locally available raw material, suitable for the local market condition, and also suitable for the local environment. Unless you meet all these criteria, the technology cannot be treated as an appropriate technology. Many MNCs have failed in this particular aspect because many MNCs are somehow trying to apply the technology whatever they have with them, and they failed it. But today many of these very aggressive MNCs and who understood the market conditions better, they are able to develop technologies appropriate to the particular market conditions. In fact, solar powered bottle cooler is a very classical case where the bottle cooler or maybe put into very effective use by connecting it to a solar panels. Nirma washing powder. In fact, it's one of the global innovation. Till before the entry of Nirma washing powder, the global washing powder market was dominated by only a washing powder made out of soda ash. It is a very expensive item. Karsanbhai Patel, the promoter of this Nirma Industries, for the first time in the world, he has created a washing powder out of your sodium hydroxide. It's a very cost-effective, cheaper compared to your soda ash washing powder. It actually changed the entire global scenario, and in fact, even the MNCs also started manufacturing this type of caustic soda-based washing powders like Nirma. Nestle chocolates, similarly, they simply brought the chocolates from abroad. They founded that Indian, only later on they realized that the Indian consumers are not using the cold chain to store the chocolate. So they had to change the recipe so the chocolates are in good condition. Microwave ovens marketed in India, or the dishwashers marketed in India, all these products are all not customized to Indian market requirement. They're simply trying to sell whatever they produced maybe in the developed countries or European countries, and that is one of the reasons why both these products are not very popular among the Indian homemakers. Now, even because of the corona, maybe more and more people are looking for dishwasher. Otherwise, still it has got its own pain points as far as Indian homemakers are concerned. Or there is some acceptance mind blocks are all there. If you take the truck industry, if you see the MAN trucks or Volvo trucks, one of the largest truck manufacturers in the world, unfortunately, they are not able to be very successful in India. In fact, the reason is that they are not able to produce India-specific products. They are trying to offer the products available from the stable, and they found that the products are doesn't have any acceptance in the Indian market because Indians value for many customers. Whereas on the other hand, Tata trucks or your Ashok Leyland trucks, they're all quite successful. Even the recent entry, for example, Mahindra, Eicher Motors, they're all doing extremely well. Then what is codified technology? The technology where the complete details are all transferred to the technology seeker. That is, in a formal manner, all the details required by the technology seekers are provided in a formal basis, and even after the technology is implemented, the complete after support is also given in a codified technology. Most of the technologies we discussed so far, they all come under the category of your codified technology. In fact, for the Indian Railways, TCS have completed a major railway reservation system. It is one of the largest reservation systems in the world. They are doing extremely well thanks to the very effective technology transfer through the codified technology route. If you see, then what is that tacit technology? In the tacit technology, there is no proper documentation. The technology transfer does not take place at all. Even the technology application is based on the experience of the technology holder, that is in the minds of the technology holder. There is no uniformity in the way the technology is presented to the various end users. The know-how is not documented. The technology transfer is limited only to the family members or to the very close people or oral means or on the job. Otherwise, the technologies are all only in the paper. Jaundice therapy by the herbal specialist is one of the interesting example. Another very interesting example is the Hyderabad fish therapy. The picture I given in the slide. And in fact, you couldn't see a big queues will be waiting there to get this fish therapy. Basically, for asthma, people who have asthma will go there basically. And they used to put a live fish with some medicine inside the people's mouth. Puthur fracture reconstruction, they're all very classical case of tacit technology. Even though the lot of consumer demand is still there, only challenge is that the technologies are not properly documented. So you will not be able to verify what exactly has happened during the technology transfer process. So hope I think this presentation you would have got a fairly good idea about the various features of the technology and also the way the technology is classified. Hope I think you all enjoyed this presentation. So thanks for listening. Thank you once again.